What's up, everybody? We are back. John Delarose here, delarose.com. That's DELARROZ.com. And the best part is you can go subscribe to my newsletter and get free books. How cool is that? So you can check out my work, which I would appreciate if you guys would do 100%. I'm going to review a book today. I usually read comics on the channel, but I've been getting these Castalia library books, and I read the Missionaries over the weekend. This is by Owen Stanley. It's a beautiful leather-bound version. It's got a nice map in the front and in the back here. I love that little touch, and it gets into the story. So the book composition itself, I've done a Castalia sort of review of these books. You know, it's got the gold paper at the end. You got a little ribbon in it. These are super high quality sewn binding stuff. I love these. So I'm going to try to keep up with reading these as they come out. They come out with one every 2 months, so that makes it kind of easy. And it seems like they're alternating between classics and like just some modern Castalia book like this. And this book's pretty short, so it was very easy to read. I definitely recommend it. You know, you don't have to buy the leather-bound version like I did, but you can pick it up on Kindle pretty easily also. And it's basically a UN observer kind of goes into this like backwards island where there's been a British guy who's kind of in charge of it for a while. And it's got some Aboriginal type folk living there. And the British guy kind of just gave up over time, and he just knows their basic instincts, and he just kind of allows them to act as they will. So, of course, the UN is offended by this because, you know, why haven't you been developing them, giving them education? Oh my gosh, we must force equality, right? And when I opened it, I wasn't sure. I thought this was. I didn't even know what I was getting going into this because Castalia usually just publishes science fiction. So I was expecting first a science fiction novel, and I didn't read the description or anything like that, just went into it blind. And then I expected a kind of a serious novel too, because, you know, when you open up with the UN and this whole setup with this, you expect a serious novel. But it's very comedic. So you want to read this with a sort of smirk in mind. When you do this, because the picture of the UN guy, his name's Pruitt, is supposed to be just a quisling bureaucrat who is absolutely worthless at everything, but he's got the right credentials, right? And so it's making fun of that, and it definitely pokes heavily at the credentialism in our society and how that works and how these people are absolutely not functional in the real world. So he tries to enact more and more power and tries to force modern society on these native savages. And he thinks along the way that he's really making huge advances and strides for these people. And in the background, they're all just plotting to kill him and eat him because they're cannibals. So really fun stuff along the way. I love that the main guy, Fletcher, who's in control of the our island before, is a person who's just like totally flippant about everything. He's just enjoying his life, and, you know, he's just kind of resigned himself to what the realities are, and so he's not worried about it. And, you know, if Tribe A wants to beat the crap out of Tribe B, let's just, you know, let's hold a little fight and see who wins. And you know, since they're going to do that anyway, we might as well just facilitate it rather than trying to fight it. And so as it goes along, they push more and more. They try to push different, I guess, modern things like latrines and electricity. They don't. Oh yeah, they don't even want to give them electricity because electricity is a bad thing. So they try to push natural gas. And then the tribe just enamors themselves with toys, basically, which is pretty funny, and eventually turns on them. There's a lot of commentary on justice on this, and there's a whole justice system they set up, mocking the idea of the Constitution being all important, because it's very interesting. Documents and legal documents at the end of the day. And I'm going too much into the philosophy of what's behind this. There is a story in here, and it's very fast paced. It's well written. It goes by amazingly. The characters are very dialed, and I'm focusing on the philosophy because I think that's what matters most at the end of the day from this. But the Constitution and legal documents are just pieces of paper at the end of the day. Just because they're there doesn't mean that it's going to do anything, that anybody will abide by them, because they're just going to go with their own interpretations anyway. There's a scene in a judge where a judge comes out in this, and he tries one of the natives for murder, and the native straight up confesses to raping, murdering, and chopping up these teen girls. And the judge concludes, well, he's just oppressed. The whole problem is he's oppressed, and so he must be free and innocent. And it's just the absurdity of it all is true. And this is what you see in our justice system too. You know, when you get these judges in there that want to be do-gooders, they don't enact true justice. They try to enact social justice, and it causes problems. So beautiful book. This was one of my top reads of the year. I can tell you that right now. I don't read a ton of books, but well worth it. And this should only take you a couple hours to get through because it's pretty short, which is the other great part about it. It's concise. It's good. I would say the only flaw is there are points where the author tends to go into a little over description. So, you know, there's just scenes where he just likes to kind of go off on, you know, the mountains and the archipelagos and what they were named and why they were named it, et cetera, and it doesn't matter too much. You know, it does help set the scene, but there's a little bit of that, but there's not too much. Like I said, it's pretty fast-paced as it is, and so it should work out really well. High recommend read. This is like a 9 out of 10. Very enjoyable. This volume, reading it in leatherbound and all that just makes it better. I just find I have a better reading experience, right? I just have more fun with it, and I just feel like I'm accomplishing something more when I'm reading something that's a nice quality rather than just, you know, some print-on-demand thing or whatnot. So, enjoyable. Hope you enjoy it too. Hit that like and subscribe button, everybody. We'll see you soon.